Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AEC Today Reports. I'm your host, Latasha Hewitt. We hope you've had a great week so far. We are excited about tonight's episode because this is the night before Camp Meeting 2021. That's right. We finally reached that point for our undefeated Camp Meeting 2021. And as we've been doing all month long, we're going to share some of the things that you can look forward to in this upcoming camp meeting. But before we do all of that, let's take a short break.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
All right, everyone, welcome back to AEC Today Reports. As you know, this is the week of camp meeting, and we're continuing our camp meeting preview coverage. And we're excited about all of the things that we have going on during camp meeting, but particularly our seminars, an opportunity for you all to learn about different things and study things in greater depth. And one of those seminars is happening Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's a mini series, and we wanted to make sure you knew exactly what to expect. And we're going to invite the presenter for that special series right now. How you doing, Pastor Legette?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing well. Happy to have you on with us because we're excited about this seminar that you have going on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're calling it the Prophecy Seminar. That seems kind of broad, but share with us what our viewers can expect from your prophecy seminar going on.
This series is about two things. The first is God's revelation, and I'm not necessarily talking about the 66th book in the Bible or the 27th book in the New Testament. I'm talking about God's process of revealing information. As you know, and as all Christians know, God does not reveal all truth at one time. He doesn't drop a load of all truth on us all at one time. Mm-hmm. It would be overwhelming. We would be blown away. In fact, we would be paralyzed because there's so much of it, right? We could never get through it. So he piecemeals it to us. And in the case of prophecy, what I see now, I've been studying the book of Daniel and Revelation are my two favorite books in all the scripture. And what I see now and what I've learned over the last 4 to 5 years is this, that God has presented more puzzle pieces in the last 4 to 5 years as it relates to what I believe is the most important and the most significant chapter in all of the Bible, and that's Revelation chapter 13 for me. And this is very subjective, but it's what I believe. Okay. Right. And so I believe over the last 4 to 5 years, he has given us more puzzle pieces than I have ever seen. Now, all of that takes place, excuse me, all of that takes place in a historical context. It takes place because of a political context, a sociological context, a militaristic context, and all of these things. We see all of these things happening, and it reveals to us. And what God is saying to you is, hey, you need to pay attention to what's happening here politically. You need to pay attention to what's happening here societally. You need to pay attention as to what's happening spiritually. And God has given us over the last 4 to 5 years these puzzle pieces that, for me, the puzzle is clearer than it has ever been. And here's what I'm going to be sharing Monday and Tuesday. The messages are entitled. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Oh, it's okay. And you say Monday, you mean Monday and Wednesday?
Monday and Wednesday from 8 to 9 is, can it really happen here, 1 and 2? And here's what I want what I want the constituents and the viewers to know. God has revealed what I believe is not just a blueprint for how the end will transpire, but a template. For me, it is clearer than it has ever been before because of the last 4 to 5 years. And I think it will be crystal clear when they see it. The blueprint and the puzzle pieces. The pieces of the entire puzzle is starting to be clearer now. We're going to understand exactly how God is going to permit stuff to happen, what it's going to look like. We'll be able to recognize it, because I'm convinced that God doesn't want us to be in darkness. We are the people of light. If anybody needs to know what's going on, it's Seventh-day Adventist Christians. That's right. Okay. Right. And the second and final thing that this series is about will have to do with the message on Friday, which is, and I'm trying to remember what it is. It's entitled "The Family Bubble." And here's what it is. March 14 of 2020 was the last Sabbath that we had in-person worship service, because something showed up in America and around the world called a pandemic. Okay. Yep. Now, the last thing, the second thing that I'm going to deal with is preparation. It's the key word. The first one was God's process of revelation. And the second thing I'm going to deal with is preparation. Preparation is vital and critical to Seventh-day Adventists, right? Because we were raised in the concept of preparing for the second coming of Christ. And yet something showed up in America and around the world that caught almost every one of us with our pants down. None of us, Tasha, none of us were prepared for this.
Not at all.
Right? It's true. None of us. We were all caught on. Nobody saw this coming. Right? Yeah. And here's what the mind-boggling thing is. When you read Hebrews chapter 11, verse 10, we quote that verse. And I hope when you do this, Bryce or Evan will put this on the screen. All right. It says, people quote, "I'm just a pilgrim. Earth is not my home. Earth is not my home. I'm just a pilgrim passing through. Yeah. I'm looking and waiting for a kingdom, a place whose builder and maker is God." Well, if Earth is not your home, then why are we Seventh-day Adventists not preparing to leave it?
Well, so that's what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about preparation, right? Because when you read Bible, and particularly when you read the Spirit of Prophecy, Ellen White gives us the blueprint of the things that we ought to be doing the closer we get to the coming of the Lord. I'm going to talk about that family bubble. I'm going to share the things that my family and I do every Monday evening that God sends, with the exception of a holiday, of course, right? To prepare for the coming of the Lord. We're taking it seriously because we realized that the pandemic was a dress rehearsal for that which is coming, whether you're ready for it or not. Wow. It was a dress rehearsal.
This is going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. We all want to know what this preparation looks like. So now you've done prophecy seminars before at camp meeting, and if I recall, they were like packed. That church was packed with people coming to hear what you were sharing. But this is kind of an updated version because a lot has happened. Since
you're right. You're right.
Last camp meetings 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Look, 2 years ago, the theme was the chosen, right? And I chose the topic, the chosen ones, plural. And I preached that night, but on Tuesday night, July 2nd, 2019, Prior to that service, I had gone to my president, your president, Elder Fordham, because I knew, look, Josh, when I wrote the sermon, if you can think of the 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, right? When I wrote it, I had like 50 pages of material.
Wow.
Okay. Well, you can't preach that at camp meeting, right? It's far too much material, right? So I go to the president. I said, look, chief, here's what I need to do. Because I was at Walnut Street at the time. So I said, here's what I need to do. I'm going to preach Tuesday night, but Sabbath, second Sabbath of camp meeting, will you give me permission to do part 2 of my camp meeting sermon so that I can continue it, with the campers, et cetera, and we'll stream it whole 9 yards. He said, of course. So I get up, I preach, and the response was incredible. So look, I had some members, I had 2 members who had come up to support me, and they were sitting right behind the president. I got to thank my first lady. So I get up, I go back to the pulpit, and I make the announcement that this coming Sabbath at 4:00 at the Walnut Street Church, I'm going to do part 2. And the first lady, she said, look, I'm telling you right now, part 2 has to be on this campground. They can't leave this campground, right? So he gets up and he huddles with Elder Palmer and Pastor Donaldson. And they said, look, we got some logistic stuff to work out, but we want that to be here. That Sabbath we had to move it to 4:00. That Sabbath at 4:00, I stand up. The church holds 500 people, I believe. There were 450 people in the building.
Yeah.
And they turned people away. People want to know what's happening, what's coming, so they want to be educated.
That's right.
And by the grace of God, that's what we're going to do this week.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And that, that's what led Elder Fordham to even want to just go ahead and make this a series this time. We don't even want you to ask. We just want to, people have shown us that they're interested in this. And now this is an opportunity for even more people to be exposed to these great truths and look at prophecy a little differently in the current climate, which is what we should be doing. So we're looking forward to this. And just so we can remind everyone, this prophecy seminar is going to take place Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. So it's going from about 8 to 9. So you can tune in. That's right following our early morning worship that starts at 7. So just stay on by and you can hear the prophecy seminar Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're looking forward to this. You got us fired up.
My wife was in the background. Bring it down. You're too excited. Bring it down.
No, that excitement is what draws us in. What are you so excited about? So we'll get to hear.
Amen.
Because usually when people are talking about prophecy, just to be, there's a certain amount of doom and gloom that comes with it. But when you're presenting it, you kind of present it with an excitement. This is what you need to know to be aware of what's happening and what's right before us, and then not just be aware, but prepare. Which you said is the second.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to it. We'll be tuning in. Viewers, check it out. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. Thank you so much, Pastor Legette.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the opportunity to share this with you.
Awesome. Take care, and we'll see you Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Awesome.
Right, we'll be right back after this short break.
The Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." If there were ever a time that we needed to come together in prayer, it is now. Therefore, our president, Elder Henry Fordham, is calling on you to join us as we band together in prayer. Pray corporately with us every day at 12 p.m. and in addition 3 times a day. We believe that God will honor the faithfulness of His people as we band together in prayer. Please pray with us and watch God move.
All right, everyone, we are back. That was great to kind of hear from Pastor Legette about that upcoming seminar for camp meeting. We hope you will check it out once again, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m., beginning on this coming Monday. So check out that prophecy seminar. Now, we have so many other things going on throughout the week, and we haven't had a chance to interview everyone that's going to be a part of camp meeting. So what I'd like to do now is show you the place where you can get all the information about camp meeting in one stop. And I've been sharing this all month long, but repetition deepens the impression. So we're just going to take a look at the visitaec.org/camp meeting page, which is your official camp meeting page for our 2021 camp meeting. So let me go share here. So there's several ways that you can get to this page. So if you just went to visitaec.org, you would start here. So you have the option to either go here to this tab. You can even scroll down and click it, this little banner here, or you can click right here and add camp meeting to the page, and you can find it as well. Once you get there, of course, you'll see the theme there and the text, the text behind everything that Elder Fordham envisioned for this camp meeting is 2 Corinthians 4:9, persecuted but not forsaken, cast down but not destroyed. So that's the backdrop for everything that we'll be talking about during camp meeting this year. So if you scroll here, now this is my favorite part, because I know those of us who attend camp meeting on a regular basis, we always have our camp guide, right? Our little booklet. Since we're virtual this year, we have a virtual booklet. And so this is your day-by-day flip book. So you can click on it and see what's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so on. Now, of course, we're streaming all of this. There may be a few tweaks here and there, but we're trying our best to stay as close to the starting time as possible. So this is a great guide for you to kind of pick out what you want to look at or watch each day, and check those things out. And of course, because everything is going to be on YouTube and our Facebook page, you can always go back and watch anything that you miss. So this is that flip book. If you want to see what's happening, this is like your TV guide for camp meeting, I like to say. So that's right there on the website. If you prefer to just go ahead and download the book, have it on your computer, print it out, whatever you like, that option is there on the website as well. There's some of us who like to just see everything on one page. This is here too. The booklet just gives you a little bit more detailed information. So that's the schedule there. Like I said, we may have a few tweaks here and there, so I'm sure you guys will bear with us. But for the most part, all of our services should start as listed there. Now, this was that question I always get. What about those people who just want to call in and listen? We do have that option this year, and this is the number and the code that those individuals will need to join into the services to listen in. And this code this year will remain the same throughout all of camp meeting for every service that we stream out. Okay, the only exception, of course, would be our prayer Zoom room, which we'll talk about a little later. So that's the call there. It's right there on the website for you to share with anyone, anywhere that you think would like to listen to our camp meeting program. So that's there right there on the website too. We've already talked about our Sabbath speakers, but just once again, we have Dr. G. Alex Bryant, who is the president of NAD, who will be speaking on our first Sabbath. And we have Dr. Ian Sweeney, who's the president of the British Union Conference, who will be speaking on our second Sabbath. And so we look forward to both weekends. Now, for our youth services, we have two speakers who will be speaking all week long. That's Sunday through Friday, as well as on both Sabbaths, mornings and evenings. So we want to make sure that you check out all of those messages for our youth. They have a morning service and an evening service, and those will be presented by Claudia Allen. Some of you may be familiar with her and her great work, and Pastor Abraham Henry will be speaking as well, one of our youth directors from our regional conferences. So we have a great lineup for our youth that we want to make sure you take a part of. Now, this is the morning speaker lineup. We did have one change here. Now, speaking on Sabbath morning, we have Dr. Kenneth Manders, who is the president of the Bermuda Conference. So that's one change that we've seen since we've started this process. But all of the other speakers will remain the same. That's morning, noon. That's a new feature this year. And then we have our evening speakers, in case you just want to look at it that way. We try to put it in different ways. So however you want to figure out your camp meeting plan, you can figure it out by looking at some of the images we have on this page. And then, of course, we don't want to forget about some of our special programming. Our women's prayer breakfast. That's going to be interactive. That's going to be live. So she'll be presenting live. You'll be able to ask her questions. This is Chaplain Adrienne Benton. You'll be able to ask her questions right there, and she'll be able to respond to you during that time slot on Sunday morning. So come and check that out. And then we interviewed our Cooking with Soul ladies. So you don't want to miss that series that happens Monday through Thursday, and the times are also on the schedule. Now, like I said, tomorrow camp meeting starts, and tomorrow night starts with our education program. Right before the education program, we will have a brief welcome into the whole camp meeting experience, but the main service starts at 7 o'clock, and the speaker is Dr. Carlton Bird. And we're happy to have him and highlight our education on Friday night. And then, the next thing is our early morning service on Sabbath morning. And then it becomes a whirlwind from there with all of the different programming and activities that we have throughout the week. And I just want to make sure you're aware of some of the seminars. Like I said, we just spoke to Pastor Legette, so we know about that one. But our health seminars, they have a series. This is just happening Saturday and Sunday of our first weekend. And there's some great topics that they'll be covering, which you can see here. Food for the healthy immune system, trauma in Black and Brown communities, extreme power of sleep, and the relationship between the gut and the brain. So this is a power-packed health weekend happening, as you can see, 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock on our first Saturday and first Sunday. So you don't want to miss those. And then, just like we said, Pastor Legette will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have our ACS seminars, which will happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you want to make sure you check those out. They happen at 8 o'clock. And of course, we also spoke with Attorney Doggett about his series, Retaining the Harvest, which happens every day from at 1 o'clock. So you want to check that out. That will also be an interactive seminar. So you want to make sure you have that on your schedule. And last but not least, I'll go over this. I don't want to read the whole thing to you. You guys can go and check it out at your leisure. But our virtual prayer garden, will not be streamed, as I shared before, but it will be a private Zoom room. There'll be presentations each day. You can go online and see who's speaking for each day of that. Once you register, that's the same link you're going to use each day to enter into this virtual prayer garden. And you do have to register. In order to do that, you can go right here online and do that. And if you want to do that for someone who isn't able to go in but want to maybe call into this, you're welcome to go and register them there as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of information on that page. We want to make sure that you are aware of everything that's happening. Some great messages coming our way. Awesome music, as you can imagine. Dr. Lloyd Mallory has organized our music this year again. And so we are looking forward to some great treats coming from our choirs and various groups that will be featured. So I hope I have whet your appetite a little bit more for our Camp Meeting 2021. Like I said, the best thing to do is to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you're following us on Facebook, because even if you forget the whole schedule, you'll at least be notified when we go live, and you can check out the programming. All right, everyone. Well, we'll be right back after this short break to close out. Hope you are looking forward to Camp Meeting 2021 undefeated.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
All right, everyone, that wraps up the goods on Camp Meeting 2021. I hope you're now more excited than you were before we even started. I hope you're ready to feel the undefeated vibe of what Christ can bring into our lives when we accept him. And that's what Camp Meeting is going to be about for the next several days, June the 25th through July 3rd. You don't want to miss it. And just to remind you where you can get all the information, visit aec.org/camp meeting. So as things change and you want to check out the schedule, don't forget to go there. All right, everyone. Thank you once again for tuning in to AEC Today Reports. Of course, during the week of camp meeting, we will not meet, but we'll be back shortly after camp meeting ends to give you more news about what's happening in your conference. All right, everyone. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow night all the way through July 3rd. Take care.